Okay, so let's take a look at a comparison between a bitmapped image. This is a bitmapped image, also known as a raster based image. These images are created in programs like Photoshop. Why would you do that? I don't know. How can I do this at 100%? Okay, so let's take a comparison of a bitmapped image. This is the image that you would create in something like Photoshop. The newly supported SVG format. And the traditional, you wish you could sweep it under a rug, flash-based, true vector-based format. Let's take a look at them. Okay. I'm going to try not to comment too much. I'm going to let the results speak for themselves. So here we have all three objects together. We're going to start by enlarging them. What's happening here? On the far left, our image file, our raster-based image, our bitmapped image, already shows signs of degradation, artifacting. It gets blurry because it's resolution dependent. It only looks good at 100%. The newly improved vector-based format, SVG file support, the format that Reallusion is dropping all their hopes and dreams into. A format that doesn't support animation. Already is showing signs of degradation. Outlines around edges. Slight blurriness, as if it was a bitmap. And you know what? It is a bitmap. There is some kind of weird bitmapped caching taking place that's processing this SVG file so that it'll run better by caching it as a bitmap. So that process not only stalls the system for a few seconds every time you do a major zoom, but also generates bitmapped artifacting around your SVG file. So it takes what could be a potentially resolution independent file and turns it into a bitmapped image. Don't be fooled. I haven't zoomed in on it yet. I made them larger. But you can see the degradation that has already taken place. The same image in a true vector format. Okay? Right next to itself. It looks perfectly crisp, perfectly clear, perfectly clean. Let's kind of put them a little bit closer to each other so we can zoom in. Now we're gonna zoom in. Notice what's gonna happen as I zoom in. Look at this thing on the bottom left-hand side. Vectorized. I don't know what that means. I think they're probably mislabeled because I think what they're doing is they're bitmapping. It's the opposite. They're taking a vector image and they're bitmap caching it. That process is creating artifacts on this, what could have been a perfectly fine vector image. Obviously, the one on the left looks like garbage. The one in the middle is our SVG file. The one on the far right is our Flash file, Adobe Animate, a true vector format. No post-processing required, no bitmap caching taking place. It looks beautiful, 100% crisp. Let's zoom in some more. Let's zoom in all the way, as far as in as we can go. Okay. Why does what's something that's supposed to be a vector-based image look like garbage? This is supposed to be resolution independent, right? I think what's happening is that bitmap caching process is adding bitmapped artifacts onto the image. So it's either a bug they need to fix, or it's something they haven't quite figured out yet, or their marketing team is deliberately screwing with its user base, because this is not resolution independent. Let's take a look at the flash file, the true vector format. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in as far as I can go, and it doesn't matter how much I zoom in. Those lines are gonna look beautiful every single time. Okay? That is resolution independence. That is what the goal should be. If you don't want to use Flash, you obviously are able to work with SVG files. Maybe you should work on it a little bit more.